Well, like I said, Better Call Saul, every episode is really good this season. This one is no exception. So this episode is called Breaking Bad, which, kind of spoiled the fact that Walton Jesse are appearing in this episode. And it's kind of funny because, this is the first episode of each of Walton Jesse. It's called Breaking Bad. Then the first episode of Breaking Bad to have Saul in it is called Better Call Saul. And they both, this episode features scenes that take place in the episode Better Call Saul. So it all comes full circle. Now, some people have been saying this, the Gene scenes are boring. And I completely disagree. I love these Gene scenes. I love the slower pace, the depressing atmosphere, and I love seeing Gene interact with other people. You could see him like slowly shift back into his Saul antics, his Slippin' Jimmy antics, which is very fun to watch, and it really leaves me wondering where it can go from here. One thing I love about this episode is I guess, the editing and the transitions from the future scenes and the past scenes is on point this episode. Like when he looks into the grave and he sees, flashes to Gene, sleeping in his bed, kind of shows that, yeah, Walt ended up actually did killing Saul. He killed the Saul, now all that's left is his sad self in Gene. You can kind of see a little bit of parallels between the Saul scenes and the Gene scenes. I don't know, it's just a very shot, in parallels. You're supposed to compare the two. And you can see that even after all that's happened to him in Breaking Bad, he still has those urges to pull another scam. It's like a condition, The return of Walton Jesse were pretty fun to watch. I feel like Bryan Cranston slips right back into Walter White like a glove. We've seen him do it recently with El Camino, and he does it again here. He's, just a masterclass actor. A masterclass, that was stupid. Aaron Paul, on the other hand, though he is a good actor, I feel like it's obvious that he has aged a lot compared to Cranston or Bob Odenkirk or Jonathan Banks. He just more physically aged a lot, and he's still acting like he's it's 2009. It just looks a bit silly, and his voice is a lot deeper now than I remember being in that episode. But that's just a little nitpicks, I don't let stuff like that um, distract me. It's better that they do that than those shitty aged down things they did in those Marvel movies, or the horrible de-aging they did with De Niro in The Irishman. No, that was bad. So, I take what I could get with these, acting like you're younger than you are. But I liked how, they didn't bring him back just to bring him back. It wasn't just fan service, there's a point to it. It shows it from Saul's perspective, and why he decided to team up with Walton Jesse to begin with. I still have a question though of how he was able to just waltz right into a high school. That's a little strange. I mean, maybe times were different back in 2009, but I feel like that wouldn't fly today. Him just walking into a high school like that. What was he supposed to say? Oh, that's my client. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't exactly expecting the series to go full on Breaking Bad timeline because, you know, um, obviously we've seen it all in Breaking Bad, but it's nice to have a little bit extra scenes to see them. I like this phone call with Francesca and how she's done with him, but she also has she's in it for the money, so she did the phone call, did what she had to say, as per the agreement, and then fucked off. I really want to know what was said during that phone call between Gene and Kim. I I imagine it didn't go down as well as Gene thought it would, because he ends up breaking the phone his box. So I kind of feel bad for him that the only person he really loves that wants nothing to do with him still. But I really want to see how Kim reacts to the events of Breaking Bad. That would be really cool to see. I wonder if we will see her again. I'd like to see her at least one more time, just considering how good of an actress she is and how good of a character she is. And yeah, I thought all the heist scenes were great as usual. I love the montages. I love the music. It's great. I could watch like a whole show of him just pulling heists with no other plot, and I'd be into it. Um, I like how he has kind of gotten to the point where he doesn't really care that the guy has cancer. He thought about it for a couple minutes, but decided to go through with it, and it was actually one of his thugs who had problems with it. But, something tells me with the fact that Caleb Lynette is kind of like, huh, why are they in the garage at like 1 a.m.? That's a little strange. I feel like he's a lot smarter than Gene thinks he is. He thinks he's just a gullible old lady like the ladies from the nursing home in season 2, but I don't know. I feel like she's a lot more intuitive than he thinks, and she might actually lead to his downfall. Now, the next episode, trailer, just shows a couple police calls, which makes me think, maybe he'll get caught. Maybe the guy who he was trying to steal from shot him. So maybe something like that happens. I don't know. Guess we're gonna have to find out. Better watch next week, huh? That's pretty much everything I have to say about this episode. Like I said, it's very good. I'm gonna give it an A, another A for Saul. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next week for my review of episode 12. Until then, I'll be doing videos on Torchwood, Sherlock Holmes, and Westworld. So subscribe below if you're into any of that also. And until then,